interested to hear from you. Brianna Turner played yesterday with Damaris Dantas on the bench. We had a lot of questions coming out of yesterday's game that we need answers to, and Stephanie White, she spoke in the press conference after the game talking about she needs to get Caitlin Clark a better, get her better looks. Well, that goes into all the interviews that she did all offseason telling us that the offense that she's going to implement is going to create those better looks.
Recent developments surrounding the Indiana Fever have created significant discussion within WNBA circles. The team's performance struggles have intensified speculation about potential coaching changes, particularly involving former Iowa head coach Lisa Bluder. Caitlin Clark previously expressed strong admiration for Lisa Bluder's leadership abilities during their time together at Iowa. The connection between these two individuals stems from their successful collaboration, where Bluder demonstrated exceptional understanding of Clark's playing style and effectively implemented strategies that maximized her potential.
Clark isn't busy backpacking this team. It looks like absolute dog shit, coach. Just a question. Just a question. What we saw today, folks, I feel bad for everybody that had to sit through that. Everybody that wasted 2 hours and 25 minutes watching the Indiana Fever versus the Las Vegas Aces. I feel bad that we had to sit through that. That was a tough watch. That was a tough watch. The Indiana Fever.
Clark's comments about playing tempo reveal tactical preferences. Sometimes we could have executed with more pace, and perhaps that responsibility falls on me for not pushing that aspect. We must maintain our up-tempo approach and quick execution. However, we generally accomplished what our coach requested, and that wasn't the cause of our defeat.
We are still waiting for that to transpire on the court. We have Caitlin Clark admitting she wants to play fast. The coach wants to play slow. She made it sound real nice, so Stephanie White, her sensitive self, didn't get hurt too much, but Caitlin Clark made it very apparent what was going on. And then, of course, Stephanie White doubling down, saying, yeah, Brianna Turner was the right decision.
The Indiana Fever's recent performance against the Las Vegas Aces highlighted several concerning issues. Clark's frustration became apparent following the team's disappointing showing, with sources indicating that organizational leadership took notice of her concerns. Reports suggest that Bluder, despite her recent retirement from collegiate coaching, remains close to finalizing a professional contract to replace current head coach Stephanie White. This potential move would reunite Clark with the coach who previously unlocked her full offensive capabilities.
Lose to the Las Vegas Aces 89-81 running bullshit Stephanie White offense. Let's call a spade a spade. The Indiana Fever lost 89-81 running bullshit Stephanie White offense. But Ben, Ben, the first quarter, folks, let me tell you this right here. Aaliyah Boston had 18 points in the first half. Do you know what happened at halftime? Becky Hammond said,
the fundamental issue appears to be contrasting basketball philosophies between White and Clark. Many observers believe that White's approach doesn't align with Clark's natural strengths and playing preferences. During her Iowa tenure under Bluder's guidance, Clark flourished in a system designed around her abilities. She averaged approximately 28 points and 8 assists per game, leading Iowa to consecutive Final Four appearances. The offensive framework emphasized Clark's deep shooting range, rapid decision-making, and movement without the ball.
To play in yesterday's game, Brianna Turner, who gets chump change, who gets garbage time when it comes to the WNBA, yet somehow, some way, she is going to be an important force in the game against the Las Vegas Aces, a team that's coming off back-to-back losses. Very interesting. Let's get right into what Caitlin Clark had to say in her wanting to play fast and in Stephanie White wanting to play slow. Let's take a look, shall we?
I thought at times we
Under the present coaching structure, Clark appears constrained by slower offensive execution, inadequate floor spacing, and reduced creative opportunities. The system has shifted toward isolation-heavy possessions, leaving Clark vulnerable to defensive pressure without sufficient support.
Okay, guys, I think I know what they're doing. Aaliyah Boston is just going to slip every screen and get wide open layups. She's just going to slip every screen and get wide open layups. She's just going to slip every screen and get wide open layups. This is what we're going to do. We're just going to switch. Easy money. we're going to switch, and if she gets the ball and she beats us one-on-one, she gets the ball and she beats us one-on-one. But that didn't happen. She did get the ball, and in the second half, she did it.
Performance comparisons between Clark's collegiate highlights and current professional games reveal stark differences in utilization and effectiveness. The tactical approach has become more rigid and less adaptable to her unique skill set. The latest contest against Las Vegas exposed multiple strategic deficiencies. White's decision-making came under scrutiny for leaving key defensive assignments unattended, premature timeout usage, and questionable rotation decisions that removed shooters when Clark needed offensive support.
Could have played a little bit faster, and I think that's on me, like not conceding in that. We still got to play up tempo. We still got to play fast. But I mean, I thought for the most part we did a lot of stuff that coach wanted us to do, and that wasn't why we lost.
Damn. She does not look like a happy camper. She might be sick. She might have a little bit of allergies going on. But in terms of how she looks, her body language, just listening, she's like, damn, we did what the coach wanted to do.
These issues represent a pattern rather than isolated incidents. Previous games have shown similar problems, including broken inbound plays, late-game collapses, and unclear player roles. Team sources indicate growing frustration with the current tactical approach.
Beat us one-on-one. Las Vegas Aces won the halftime adjustment battle. Stephanie White, arms crossed, makes no adjustments. Stephanie White, arms crossed, runs nonsensical garbage all game long. I don't even think I saw anything that resembled an Indiana Fever team that I enjoyed watching. From last year, from some games this year, I didn't see any of that transpire at all throughout this game.
Clark's post-game comments following the Aces' defeat contained subtle but significant criticism. Her statement about needing clearer vision suggested dissatisfaction with current direction. Fans and analysts interpreted these remarks as indirect requests for organizational changes.
We did what the coach wanted to do. I thought at times we could have played faster, and that's on me, not conceding to the coach, conceding to the coach's way. We still got to play up tempo because I'm Caitlin Clark. I know how this team needs to perform. I know how my game best translates. We still got to play fast, but for the most part, we did a lot of stuff coach wanted us to do. Stephanie White.
The most revealing aspect of Clark's comments involved her discussion of playing pace. Sometimes we could have executed with more pace, and perhaps that responsibility falls on me for not pushing that aspect. We must maintain our up-tempo approach and quick execution. The statement essentially acknowledged tactical disagreements while taking diplomatic responsibility for not challenging coaching decisions more assertively.
Let's take a look at the box scores. Natasha Howard, 24 minutes, 7 points, 4 rebounds, 4 turnovers. Aaliyah Boston, 26 points, 10 rebounds. She had 18 points in the first half. She scored 8 points in the second half. Why? Because Becky Hammond said, we're just going to switch and stop giving her wide open layups, and if she beats us one-on-one, she beats us one-on-one. And guess what happened? She didn't beat them one-on-one. Moving on, Kelsey Mitchell.
Indiana Fever management appears to be responding to these concerns through active discussions with Bluder. Insiders report that negotiations have progressed significantly, with the former Iowa coach showing openness to returning to coaching under the right circumstances.
This is what you get. We listen to you, we do it your way, and we have a beat-down, demoralized Caitlin Clark sitting at the press conference after the game. Brutal. Very, very, very brutal. And we have a nice comment right here. Exactly that. We did what the coaching staff wanted. Slow the pace down inside out, which allows the defense to set and play physical. Until they learn that it's not going to work, they will keep losing. It's like management didn't learn last year with sides. They stopped doing.
The potential agreement could extend beyond basic coaching duties to include long-term strategic influence over team direction, roster construction, and offensive system development. The coaching change speculation has generated considerable excitement among Clark's collegiate supporters and WNBA fans generally. Social media activity has increased dramatically around this topic, with many expressing enthusiasm for the potential reunion.
20 points, 8 for 13. Kelsey Mitchell, she tried to get us back in the game in the fourth quarter. Too little, too late. Lexi Hull, 7 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Caitlin Clark, 7 for 20, 1 for 10 from the three-point line, 19 points, 11 assists. I'm going to say this, and I'm going to say this every single game from here on out. The bigs on this team consistently set.
Commercial interests are also monitoring the situation closely, as the Clark-Bluder partnership previously generated significant viewership and engagement during their Iowa success. Current offensive execution under White's system has proven inadequate for maximizing Clark's impact. The motion offense implementation has failed to create consistent opportunities for the team's primary offensive weapon.
Doing the inside-out stuff and just got to running and became a better team because of it. New coach, same script, same bad results. Really starting to doubt this coaching staff, calling Christie sides. You weren't that bad. The coach needs to be fired. The honeymoon phase of Stephanie White is over with. The honeymoon phase is finished. No longer are we just turning another cheek because it's early in the season and the team needs time to gel. No longer are we doing that. She's not on the hot seat.
Game footage analysis reveals that when Clark struggles offensively, the entire team's performance deteriorates significantly. This over-reliance on individual brilliance rather than systematic effectiveness has become a recurring problem.
Screens to get themselves open every single time. They don't know how to set a screen to actually force the defense to react to Caitlin Clark. They slip screens to get themselves open every single time. Becky Hammond knows that, so she says, just switch. AB's not really setting a real screen. Just switch. Just switch, and we'll come over the top and help out on defense when they toss it into AB.
The Las Vegas game demonstrated how opposing coaches can neutralize Indiana's offense through strategic adjustments. Aces coach Becky Hammond successfully identified and countered Fever's early game success by switching defensive assignments and eliminating easy scoring opportunities. Aaliyah Boston's first half dominance, 18 points, was completely neutralized in the second half through defensive modifications, highlighting the coaching staff's inability to counter opposing adjustments.
She's not going to get fired, but she's definitely going to be feeling it from the fans. She's definitely going to be feeling it from the fan base. People are going to be very vocal about what they're seeing. That's the thing about having an actual fan base that cares. They're going to be vocal about what they see. They're not just going to sit on their hands and let a bunch of bullshit transpire, pardon my French. Then we have Stephanie White talking about getting Caitlin Clark better shots. Interesting.
I think the big
Recent statistical analysis shows concerning trends in Clark's shooting efficiency, particularly from three-point range, where she's converted only one of her last 17 attempts. This decline coincides with increased defensive attention and limited offensive system support. The correlation between Clark's shooting struggles and her previous injury concerns has raised questions about physical conditioning and workload management. The timing of potential coaching changes remains critical, especially with upcoming games against strong opponents. Organizational decision makers face pressure to act quickly if they intend to salvage the current season.
Getting the switch out on Asia Wilson, Asia playing in front of the three-point line, daring Caitlin Clark to make a play, and she passes it to AB. I didn't see any type of double screen to get Caitlin Clark open. I didn't see any type of off-ball double screen to get Caitlin Clark open. I didn't see anything in this offense that actually tries to get Caitlin Clark an open shot at all. I saw 0 plays ran for Caitlin Clark to get an open shot at all. If she's not...
Bluder's arrival would represent more than personnel change. It would signal a fundamental shift in team philosophy and long-term strategic direction. The move could transform Indiana from a struggling franchise into a legitimate championship contender. The Indiana Fever coaching situation represents a pivotal moment for the franchise. The potential return of Lisa Bluder offers hope for unlocking Caitlin Clark's full potential while addressing systemic issues that have plagued the team's performance. Whether organizational leadership moves decisively on this opportunity could determine not only the remainder of this season, but the franchise's competitive future. The chemistry between Clark and Bluder previously produced exceptional results, and recreating that partnership could dramatically alter the WNBA's competitive landscape.